Hello, everybody. What's up? What's going on? And welcome to the 64th episode of Raptors One. So, guys, I know it's been a while. I haven't recorded in, I would say, about 2 weeks. Haven't dropped a video, but here I am. I finally have the time. It's been a busy 2 weeks. So, without any further adu, let's just catch up, folks. Before I begin this video, thank you, everybody, for all the support, for watching the videos. Of course, my subscribers, new and old subscribers, thank you very much for sticking it with me and being patient. And new viewers, if you're interested, you can always subscribe to the channel. I have all this other content for you, for your viewing pleasure, of course. And don't forget to hit that thumbs up button if you like the content, no pressure. And the comment section. Alright, so, Raptors fans, if you're like myself, you're watching your team and you had a lot of excitement about this team even before the season started. And obviously a lot of optimism as well, along with the hopes of, maybe having some moves being made. But none of it has happened. However, despite the moves not being made, we still made very good strides with the personnel that we have. And we pride on the fact that we have continuity and chemistry on our side to help us win these basketball games. However, Raptors fans, I feel your anguish. I feel your panic. I understand. It is all warranted. With the recent games, the injuries have plagued us big time, especially at the beginning of this season. With these first 15, 20 games that we've played, maybe easily about half of them we've lost a lot of personnel to injuries. And, it shouldn't be new to us. It really shouldn't be, because even in the past seasons, we've always started and finished the season with some players that we've lost to injuries or COVID protocols, whatever it may be. We've lost those players, but we've always been fine. This season is a little different, though, because we've lost a lot of players. We've lost a lot of key players. We've lost Scotty Barnes. We've lost Pascal. We've lost Freddie. And now we're also losing some key support pieces, like your Precious. We had lost Chris Boucher for a bit until he came back not so long ago. But you might as well just count him as well. We've lost Kem Birch. Now we've lost Delano. And yeah, we're just losing personnel to injuries. But I just want to let you guys know that it is going to be all right. Just don't panic. Trust me. I will take these injuries at the beginning of this season. Believe me. A lot of good things are going to happen because of this. Now, one, I think is going to keep Nick Nurse on his toes. And is going to get his creative juices flowing. And is going to, give him that chance to see what the other personnel on the team can bring should we lose these integral pieces again later on in the season. So there is a lot of plus side to this. Yes, Nick Nurse is a good coach. For sure. He's been coach of the year. He won the championship in his first year coaching, right? But at the same time, a coach like Nick Nurse, let's just say he thrives when it comes to the odds being stacked up against him. When it requires him to basically make, chicken noodles out of, ants or something. I don't know, bad analogy. But you know what I mean? Make something amazing out of something some very little ingredients, right? And that's what he's becoming very creative now. And apart from that, he's also starting to get to know the personnel that wouldn't always get playing time, right? Because again, Nick Nurse, of late, and when I say of late, since last season, he keeps a very tight rotation. He'll play 7, max 8 players off the bench. Typically around 6 to 7 players off the bench is the usual player rotation for a whole game. But now he has to dive deep into his bench, see all the personnel that we have, maybe call some people off of the G League as well and give them a few runs. But he's basically not just seeing what is available for him, but he's also going to get an idea of how deep his bench could be and what these personnel are capable of. At the same time, these people who typically don't get any playing time, they're getting some valuable minutes at the beginning of the season. This is perfect scenario for these players and for our squad in general. Ladies and gents, believe me, this is the biggest plus. This is the perfect time to lose your key players to an injury. Mind you, Pascal was killing it just before the injury. He was on a mission. He was on a tear. He wanted to be amongst the top 5 in the league, and he was almost getting there. You could tell that he's taking those strides to get to that 5th, to be among the top 5 in the league. But that's okay. That is perfectly all right. It's still so early in the season. I'm not even panicking. Nobody should be panicking. This is perfect for the personnel who don't get that time, because now they're getting the reps. They're getting the NBA experience. They're getting to understand what the coach's intent is whenever he sends his players out on the court. They're getting to understand the scheme. This is amazing. On top of that, these players who are injured, the key players, they're getting... Yes, they have to rehab, and it's an unfortunate part that they their bodies have to be hurt, but their minds don't have to be hurt. It's giving them even more chance to not just observe what's going on the court, but also to mentor these players who are getting their playing time now, right? And it's developing them into leaders as well. This is perfect. These players who don't get that time typically on the court, because of that tight rotation that Nurse usually likes to play, now they're getting that essential experience. They're going to be battle tested by the time it comes to playoffs. And our players who are injured or who are missing games right now, they're not going to be injured for long. They're going to rehab. They're going to come back. And they're going to come back strong. They're going to come back hungry. And then the players that usually are warming up the bench, who don't get the time, they're going to be battle tested. They're going to know what to do when called upon. This is amazing. We are getting to be a deep bench now. We're not just going to be a deep bench on paper. We're actually going to be a deep bench. That is the crazy part about this. Yes, our record is also, believe it or not, for the beginning of the season, with the amount of personnel we have lost, it's not bad. It is not bad at all. We're 50% wins. We have played some really tough squads. We have played some back-to-back scenarios with players on the injury list. We have won some games, some games that I never would have pegged us to win with the personnel we have, and we have lost some games. But that's okay. But we still have, surprisingly enough, because this player typically for the past, even till the last season, has had the reputation of not being as durable, but so far so good, knock on wood. OG Anunoby, he's healthy and he's tearing it up. This is perfect for him because now he's gonna feast. He doesn't have to worry about, Pascal's got to get his, Fred's got to get his, Gary's got to get his, Scotty's got to get his. He doesn't have to worry about that anymore. Now it's OG's got to get his, and he's going to get his. And the crazy part about this is OG's becoming a monster. Not becoming, he's already become a monster. And he's already become a wrinkle on the opponent's foreheads when it comes to defense. That stifling defense, that ability to read the play as it develops, and to read the opponent's plays too. Man, his IQ has gone off the charts this season. That is crazy. But that's also because he's now able to stay on the court. He's also getting more playing time, more experience, and he's durable now. He's also healthy. Probably been the healthiest since his previous seasons, at least 4 or 5 seasons. So, yeah, he's having a good season. Let's hope that continues on. Now we got Gary Trent, and as much as I hate to see players miss time, like Pascal, like Freddie, like Scotty, I gotta say, with Gary, he's had more off games this season. One area that I particularly notice that he's taken his foot off the pedal, which I was very impressed by in the last season, was on the defensive end. And maybe it's because he felt like he got snubbed for Defensive Player of the Year. I get it, and this is why, he's still a young buck, and things like this are going to affect him. Hell, it would affect me too. If I put all that effort and I was getting all those steals and padding up those defensive stats and not even in the conversation for Defensive Player of the Year, yeah, I would be a little, dejected too. Yeah. But he's got to think win-win-win. Forget all these accolades. Yes, they're nice. Maybe you could get some perks out of it later on, some endorsements or whatever have you. But at the end of the day, the main prize, you got to keep that eye on the prize, the Larry O.B. trophy. So, yeah, I think, but this is, again, like his offensive game too has been, and again, we all knew Gary's game, and if you have been watching my previous episodes, I've drawn comparisons to him with JR, with J.R. Smith, close to / in his prime. When he's hot, he can't miss, but when he's not, my goodness, you would wish he'd just pass that rock. I feel like this is going to be perfect for Gary Trent as well, to kind of, go back to the drawing board and be like, hey, listen, all right, let's just get all that negativity out of the gates, and let's just focus on defense. And, yes, I'm going to be a bucket getter. I'm going to be buckets. That's okay, Gary Buckets. But gotta get back to that defense. And I think he's trying to do that. But I really hope he does, and I really wish that he doesn't force the issue on the offense. Let it come to him. And believe me, part of him having to force it too is also because we're missing personnel. So he has no choice. Now I want to talk about Scotty, Rookie of the Year. And a lot of people have been kind of, with his early performance here in the season, they've been having a lot of questions about Scotty and his ability now. And now they're starting to consider, or they're wondering if we have given him too much, if we have overestimated his abilities. And my answer to that is no, I don't think so. I believe he's still got a limitless ceiling, and he will reach there. We all have to understand this is early in the season. I'd rather him start struggling now, as opposed to midway / end of the season where the grind is getting to him, the punishment that he's taken on his body is getting to him, and his performance is dipping just before the playoffs. I'd rather him just get it over with now, early in the season. We got to think long ball here, and I think he'll be just fine. But I really, if Scotty, if you're watching this, if any of the Raptors squad, even if his management staff is watching this, change the man's kicks. The guy has been injured so much. He's always dealing with ginger ankles, and now he's got that left knee sprain. Change the man's kicks. I don't know. Go for Under Armour. Steph Curry, he always had those ankle issues, and then all of a sudden he switches to Under Armour. He's all good to go, right? Maybe try Under Armour. Oh, I don't know. Maybe try New Balance. New Balance is pretty good too. I feel like, especially if you got those wide feet, they could be good for you. I've tried New Balances. I've got wide feet. They're really good for me. And I do have Under Armours as well, and they're good for my ankles too. And you know what? I would even take it a step further. You want to make a name for yourself? You want to start with a brand that nobody else has touched? Again, correct me if I'm wrong, ladies and gents. Hit that comment section. Let me know if there is a player who's already been endorsing for this brand. I believe it's pronounced Saucony. Saucony? Saucony. You can see it on the screen here. Anyway, Saucony's. If no NBA player has done it, approach the brand. Be like, hey, you know me. I'm Scotty Barnes, Rookie of the Year, baby. Let's go. Let's make a basketball shoes lineup. I'll be your endorser. I'll endorse your brand. Let's go. Get that bag. Be the first. That's what Steph did with Under Armour, and see where he's at. Oh, bottom line, let's not hit the panic button. We got a game tonight. It's against Dallas. We may or may not see Freddie on court. We may or may not see Delano on court. But hey, the good thing is that Pascal is close to a return. Probably not in this game, but it's okay. That's fine. It's still early. He's going to come back. And then when he does come back, ladies and gents, please do not treat him like you did the last season. You know who you are. Who doubted him when he came back from his shoulder surgery and his rehab and all that. And the first 5 or 6 games he botched. Because again, he's trying to not just get back into game shape, but also just to understand where he's supposed to be, get his spots, understand the game, understand his role, So he's going to have to shake the cobwebs. So don't write him off within the first 5 or 6 games when he comes back from this injury. And you also have to be, especially when it comes to these adductors injuries, you have to keep your expectations tame here. He may not necessarily have that same burst or explosiveness that he did prior to this injury, but it will come with time and with rehab and with practice and with playing time. And with rest, most importantly. So don't doubt him. He is good. He'll be all right. That's all I got for today, folks. Again, thank you very much for the new subscribers and the old subscribers for sticking it out with me and for, supporting me. Of course, new viewers, if you're checking it out, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button if you like the content and the subscribe button. I got all this content for you for your viewing pleasure, of course. And don't forget to hit the comment section. Until next time, I'm out.